Hello everybody, this is Gregory, 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics and Living, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about 4 reasons why it's good to publicly demonstrate your faith. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti, Amen. Gloria Patri Filii et Spiritui Sancto, sicut era in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. So I'm here in Portland, Oregon for a few days. I'll be doing some videos out here. I'm eventually going to go over to Astoria, which is on the Pacific Ocean, and Mount St. Helens. So I'll try to do some videos from over there. If you're new to the channel, I have about 7 videos that I did recorded in Italy, and also about 7 videos that I did in Chicago. So if you go to the home page and just type in the search engine Chicago and Italy, you'll see them. All right. So publicly demonstrating your faith. Now, when I say that, sometimes with some Catholics, it like chills up their spine. And I think the first thing they think about maybe is the Pharisees that are talked about in the gospel. Like, look at me when I'm praying. And Christ talks about don't bring attention upon yourself when you're praying. Or also where the juxtaposition between the Pharisee and the tax collector, where the Pharisee it's like, look at me, I fast all the time, I'm great, all of me, attention. Tax collectors, have mercy on me, God, a sinner. So what I mean by publicly demonstrating your faith is mostly just like during grace. Or like, for example, I was doing my rosary in the airplane, okay, sitting. I'm not like, hey, I'm doing my rosary now. No, you just doing my rosary while sitting in the airplane, doing the sign of the cross and doing grace. For you Protestants, we have an episode here on the sign of the cross, how early Christians were doing this. It goes back a long way. That's what I mean. So I think there's 4 good reasons why we should publicly demonstrate our faith. No particular order. 1 is we're expected to be proud of our faith. We are told by Christ that those who are ashamed of the faith will suffer punishment later on, that there'll be sort of retribution, like, why should I quid pro quo, like, why should I back you up if you're not going to back me up? So we're expected to be proud of the faith and evangelize and represent our faith. Doesn't mean that you need to be a street preacher telling everybody about Jesus Christ. There are apostolates that do that. Doesn't mean you have to do that, but we are called to be public witnesses to Christ and what He's done for us. So that's 1. It's kind of like we talked about the Great Commission, where we talked about the works of mercy, how we are expected to do these things. It's not a suggestion, it's a commandment, so to speak, to do works of mercy. Christ talks about it in the judgment of nations in Matthew 25, the importance of feeding the hungry, giving water to the thirsty. Remember, He separates the goat and the sheep. But Lord, I didn't know. And then He separates and sends all those to hell who aren't doing those works of mercy. The second thing is it does give encouragement and emboldens lukewarm Catholics. So if you're somewhere in public and you're doing the sign of the cross, doing the rosary, or doing some outward act of your Christian faith, there's going to be other people that are like, oh, wow, they're doing it, and then it's going to embolden them to be more courageous to do it. This is not a perfect example, but where I go to daily Mass, I notice that the more people that kneel and receive on the tongue, because there may be 100 people, 120 people that go to the daily Mass, and I would say maybe 10% kneel and receive it on the tongue. But I've noticed in the year that I've been going to this church, more and more receiving it. And these were people that I would recognize at Mass that were not receiving it. They would receive it in the hand and or standing on the tongue, and now they're kneeling for the tongue. And again, you don't have to receive the Eucharist like that. I'm just giving this as an example how seeing other people do that gives courage to others to do that. So it's good modeling to lukewarm Catholics or pusillanimous Catholics. A third thing is it's good modeling for your children. If your children see you, for lack of a better word, not caring, not giving a darn about doing the sign of the cross or witnessing to people, talking about your faith to people in public, it's great modeling because they realize that the faith is important to you, therefore it's more likely to be important to them. Stat after stat says, if you want your children to be practicing the faith, they need to see the father practicing the faith, more than the mother, the father practicing the faith. So if you are a man, and of course if you're a mom, this is certainly beneficial as well, but if you're a father and you're publicly demonstrating your faith and you're telling kids, either with words or with actions, that I am proud of my faith, I am not scared to show my faith, it gives them a motivation and incentive later when they get older, because again, we're modeling to our kids every second we're awake to do it as well. And I think the fourth reason why you should show your faith is that you are more likely to get in conversations with either lukewarm Catholics, Protestants, Orthodox, atheists, because they're going to see, like if you're at a restaurant, coffee shop, and you have the Bible out, or you have some Catholic book out, or they see you doing the grace before eating lunch, you're more likely, or they're more likely to engage in a conversation with you because you've done an outward sign of your Christian faith. Now, this might result, and this has happened with me on occasion, with fighting, yelling, which I don't recommend. This is not, don't engage with belligerent people. I have an episode here on that. But also, sometimes it's just good conversations. And a lot of people don't know knowledgeable, well-catechized Catholics. And so they just assume a lot of Catholics are pretty stupid on the faith. And so when you're interacting with a non-Catholic and you actually know about your faith, and more importantly, you show the importance your faith is in your life and how much you love it, this can have unforeseen positive benefits later on that you might not know. You could be like the mustard seed, planting a seed that could grow later on. And so you are witnessing to non-Catholics that could benefit them later on just by engaging in a nice conversation. And I've talked about here in many videos, really the best way to model the faith or talk about the faith is in modeling it, answering questions with charity and with a smile and kindness. It's not browbeating, proselytizing, a debate contest, who can pee farther, so to speak, from the male perspective and all that. No. So these are 4 reasons why you should be okay with publicly demonstrating your faith. And again, I'm not saying you need to be like, look at me, I'm about to get on my knees, I'm going to say the Angelus. No, just simple little things like doing the sign of the cross before meals. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.